Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com sports presentation. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Nelson Auto and your Nelson starting lineups, Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game, Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show, Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout, Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard, the Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game, Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated, Fergus Falls Monument, Otter Tail Coaches, American Federal Bank of Fergus Falls, Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's, FM Bank, Service Food, Splash Express, American Legion Post number 30, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and by Running Stitches. Now, let's head out for the pregame.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're live from the Otter Field House, the Roosevelt Gymnasium here in Fergus Falls, where tonight it's the regular season finale and senior night here for the Otter boys basketball team as the Fergus Falls Otters hosting St. Cloud Tech. And this really should be a good matchup. And sometimes you get to the end of the regular season and maybe the game doesn't have any type of implications. The seedings could be set. Well, that's not the case tonight. There's all sorts of implications for whichever way this goes, especially for the Otters, what it means for them next week when the Section 8 3A playoffs begin. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. Jason Retzloff, happy to be with you here tonight with our coverage of Otter boys basketball on News Talk 1250 KBRF. These teams played previously. That was on February 2nd. And the Otters won a close one in St. Cloud, 66-64. It was a tale of two halves as the Otters were up 41-19 at the half. Nolan Fellstuhl was on fire that night. He had 5 threes in the first half to get the Otters going. Then St. Cloud Tech came back. The Otters struggled to shoot the ball in the second half, turned the ball over more than what Coach Johnson wanted, and they came back on Fergus Falls, but Otters were able to hold them off for a 66-64 win. And it was Jacob Jentz leading Fergus Falls that night, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Big game for Jacob. Nolan Fellstuhl with those 5 threes. He had 17 points. Essen Bethel had 15, and Micah Johnson had 12, as there were 4 players in double digits for the Otters in that one. Well, we're going to take a timeout at senior night, and just a little bit before, that's why we're a little later going on. They honored the group of seniors, so a big night. And the Otters are hoping this isn't their last home game of the season and for these seniors. And with a win tonight, there's a high likelihood they're going to have a home game next week. And if they lose, high probability that they will be on the road. But we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. You're listening and watching to Otter Boys Basketball on News Talk 1250 KBRF. We're also streaming live on the Fergus Now app and the KBRF YouTube channel. Back with more Otter Boys Basketball after this.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Otter Tail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Otter Tail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
And we're back here at the Otter Field House. Otter boys basketball for you on the News Talk 1250 KBRF. And the Otters, big game tonight with St. Cloud Tech. And these two teams, if you look at the Section 8 3A QRF rankings, and that's how the seeding is done. And then, of course, there are a lot of tiebreakers that go into it. And here's what we got. Right now, St. Cloud, Apollo, and Sartell are at the top at 1 and 2, although there's a very good chance Sartell, who's only a point behind St. Cloud Apollo, I believe they swept St. Cloud Apollo, and they're likely headed towards the number 1 seed. Then you have Wilmer at the number 3 seed. Wilmer is the number 15 rated team in the QRF, 142 QRF points. And then after that, in a clump, it's St. Cloud Tech at 4 with the 18th ranking at 129 points. The Otters are in 5th, 20th ranked team with 126 points. And Detroit Lakes is in 6th with 122 points, the number 22 rated team. And then there's a big gap after that with Sauk Rapids, Rice, Rocori, and Little Falls filtering out the last of the teams. But if the Otters, who beat St. Cloud Tech earlier in the year, win tonight, that would mean the Otters win the tiebreaker with St. Cloud Tech, as they would win. They would have swept them head-to-head. And the Otters would very, very likely, we never know how it all maps out, but it'd be pretty shocking if they didn't come up with the number 4 seed. And if you're in the top 4, you will host a playoff game in the first round of the Section 8 3A tournament next Wednesday is when that game would be. And the Otters would have a chance to host that. There's actually a small chance that maybe they could get all the way up to number 3, because they would, if Wilmer would lose tonight against St. Cloud Apollo and the Otters win, the Otters would have the tiebreaker there as they split head-to-head, but the Otters would have a better conference record. A lot of things going on back and forth. Now, if the Otters would lose tonight, that means they would not have the tiebreaker with St. Cloud Tech. And Detroit Lakes, who is directly behind them, beat Fergus Falls twice. And it'd be very likely the Otters would fall down to the number 6 seed. So all these scenarios in place, but the big thing likely is Otters win tonight. They get to host a home game in the Section 8 tournament. And if they lose, they're probably going to be on the road and would likely fall all the way to the 6th spot, which would mean, a pretty good chance they'd be going to Wilmer next Wednesday. So that's what's on the line. The Otters would love to have another home game for their fans to come out and enjoy this team. And this team is a different team than what they were earlier in the season. As Otters lost their first 6 games of the year, lost Trenton Drulard to injury. I believe it was the second or third game of the year, the Detroit Lakes game, and really spent a while finding themselves. But man, the Otters have improved. They've gotten better. You've seen it in games where they played one team and then play them a second time and either turning it around and getting a win or having a much more competitive game. And they have Trenton Drulard now back into the mix, such a key performer and player to have in the fold, which adds to their depth, athleticism, and overall ability, obviously. And you look at the Section 8 3A teams, and there are a lot of good teams, but the Otters have competed, even if they haven't beat them. They beat Wilmer, they beat Sartell. They were very competitive with St. Cloud Apollo. It's a section that the Otters can certainly compete in. It would be fun to see them get that win tonight and have a chance to host that first round and see where this improved team can go in this playoff run. So looking forward to that. I hope I was able to explain to you with some success what the QRF looks. No one can ever quite figure out the QRF, but that's kind of what it looks like. Otters win tonight, and the seeding takes place this weekend. Good chance they're going to be highly likely they're going to be home next week. So we'll see how it all unfolds here tonight with St. Cloud Tech. We'll take another break here on our pregame show, and we'll talk a little bit more. We'll talk about some of the other matchups. A lot of matchups here, a lot of regular season finales in the area for high school boys basketball. So we'll take another break. Back with more Otter boys basketball on the pregame show in just a moment.
The 2025 model year closeout sale continues at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have 2 remaining Buick Envistas that would definitely cheer up your winter blues. With these great deals, you can get into a new, sporty, reliable vehicle for just over $25,000. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
And we are back here at the Otter Field House. And Fergus Falls at home against St. Cloud Tech in boys basketball on senior night and the regular season finale. Otters are 10-15 on the year. They're 8-9 in Central Lakes Conference play. And I mentioned where they stand in the KBRF, just fractionally behind St. Cloud Tech. Hoping to break that, win the tiebreaker tonight and have a home game. But Fergus Falls really had a nice game on Tuesday at Rocori. And Otters led 32-27 at the half, and then they really opened it up in the second half. Led by as many as 26 on their way to a 64-49 Central Lakes Conference win at Rocori. It was just an outstanding night for Eston Bethel. I was there on the call, and he was tremendous. One of the better performances I've been able to see in a while. And he had 33 points. He was as efficient as ever, had 4 assists, made 6 three-point field goals, and he was very good defensively, helping on the weak side. And the big kid Woods for Rocori had a number of steals. Yeah, Eston was just tremendous on Tuesday night. Jacob Jentz had 11 points, 9 rebounds. Like we mentioned, Trenton Joulard, great to have Trenton back in the fold, coming back after injury. And it was clear he makes an instant impact for the Otters. He had 10 points in the game on Tuesday at Rocori. St. Cloud Tech, they're 12-13 on the year, 8-9 in Central Lakes Conference play. And they had quite a game on Tuesday. They played St. Cloud Apollo, and they lost in double overtime, 75-72. So you talk about Otters being able to compete with the best teams in this section. Well, St. Cloud Tech as well. They almost knocked off St. Cloud Apollo, who's right at the top, along with Sartell. It was a double overtime loss of 75-72. Nick Breaks, one of the names we're going to call a lot tonight, a 6'4 junior for the Tigers. He had 26 points to lead the way for St. Cloud Tech in that one. Well, it's great to have the Mighty Otter Pep Band cranking out all the hits here tonight and getting the atmosphere going. Awesome to be in at Roosevelt Gym at the Field House. Excellent crowd on hand here, and we're looking forward to what should be a real good game tonight here with St. Cloud Tech and the Otters playing for the right to host next week in the first round of the Section 8 3A tournament. Well, Running Stitches, the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. Okay, we are moments away from the national anthem. So with that, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will introduce tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center of Fergus Falls. And the Otters are at home against St. Cloud Tech. It's senior night and the regular season finale. Back with our Nelson Auto Center starting lineups after this break.
A fresh shipment of brand new Buick Enclaves and Buick Envisions has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. If you've been waiting for the perfect SUV, now's your moment. The spacious, refined Buick Enclave with 3 rows of comfort and confidence. Or the sleek, stylish Buick Envision that is smart, smooth, and ready for where life takes you. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Fergus Falls Otter boys at home against St. Cloud Tech, the Tigers. And time to introduce our starting lineups, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center of Fergus Falls. And starting is going to be number 1, Kyle Kraska. We were told that number 0, Gilo, might be starting, but he's unable to start, so Kraska's starting. Then it's 6'7" senior, number 10, Manabanda James. 6'4" junior, number 11, Judge. 6'4" junior, number 13, Nick Breaks. And 5'11" sophomore, number 20, Everett Stein. Don Ferguson is the head coach of the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. Nelson Auto Center starting lineups. Now it's time to introduce the home team, the Fergus Falls Otters. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore, 20 points, 5 assists, 3 steals per game, number 1, Eston Bethel. At a guard, 5'10" senior at 3 points per game, number 2, Cameron Wiedrich. Another guard, 6 junior, 11 points per game, number 3, Nolan Fellstuhl. At a guard, 6'1" senior, 11 points, 4 assists, number 5, Micah Johnson. And at a forward, a 6'4" junior, 15 points, 7 rebounds a game, number 21, Jacob Jentz. Otters are coached by Matt Johnson. He's assisted by Brad Strand, Ryan Johnson, Taylor Foose, and Keith Pearson. And that is tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center. They're located on Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. Otters in the maroon and gold home uniforms tonight. St. Cloud Tech, they're in white uniforms with black letters and numbers and some orange tiger trim across their uniforms. Next week, the Section 8 3A playoffs begin, and that is next Wednesday will be the first round for the Otters. Whether it'll be at home or on the road, we'll probably know after this game here tonight. Jacob Jentz in the center circle, along with Manabenda James, the 6'7" senior. And we're ready to go. Looking forward to this matchup here between two teams. By the numbers, very evenly matched. The tip is controlled by St. Cloud Tech. And we are underway with Judge handling the basketball for St. Cloud Tech. It's now Everett Stein. Little pick and roll action. The pass is high. It went off the hands of Kraska and out of bounds. Turnover to start off the game for St. Cloud Tech. Otters inbound. Some of the keys that Matt Johnson talked about in this game tonight. He talked about handling the defensive pressure of St. Cloud Tech. They're going to pressure, full court press at times, take care of the basketball, and get back in transition. Of course, you take care of the basketball. It's easier to have transition defense, but the Otters turn it over there, and here comes that transition opportunity. Just the perfect timing with that analysis, and the layup is good by Stein, and it's 2-0. St. Cloud Tech with the lead on the Park Region scoreboard. There's a back cut, and it goes off the hands of Wiedrich and out of bounds. Couple turnovers here for the Otters, and it's 2-0. St. Cloud Tech with the lead. And with the basketball up top, Judge, over it goes on the far side to Nick Breaks. He had 26 on Tuesday against Apollo. There's a fadeaway on the baseline, no good. And it is Eston Bethel with the Otter rebound. Here comes Eston, right-hand drive right to the hoop, goes up, contact, no call. And the block shot and the rebound comes to Stein for St. Cloud Tech. Here's Judge, right-hand dribble. Spins back to his left shoulder. Tough shot, no good. Good battle for the board. It went off of Gents, and possession will go to St. Cloud Tech. Almost a minute and a half in. 2-0. The Tigers with the lead. And it will be Judge inbounding for Tech. He lobs it way up top. It comes to Breaks. Left-hand dribble out to Kroska. Puts it on the floor one time. Now they'll set it up with Stein. Near side to Judge, directing some traffic against Johnson on the baseline. 8 to shoot for the Tigers. Across it goes. Stein, corner, breaks, reverse layup, and it curls just off the rim, no good. Gents and Kroska battle for it. Kroska comes up with it. Three-pointer. Stein, no good. Ball tipped. It went off of Eston Bethel, and St. Cloud Tech will keep possession. So now the Tigers are hurting the Otters on the boards here. And Tech will run an end out line across the baseline. Judge on the inbound. Dumps it off to Breaks. Knocked away briefly by Felstool. It went out of bounds off of Nolan. It'll stay with St. Cloud Tech. 16:09 to play. First half. 2-0. St. Cloud Tech with the lead. Inbound to Judge as he handles the basketball up top. Judge has got some size. He's a 6'4 junior. Near side to Breaks. Felstool's on him. Otters man-to-man defense. 6 on the shot clock. Here is Breaks, and now there's a battle for position, and Wiedrich is going to get called for the foul. Unfortunate foul for the Otter with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. So Cam Wiedrich picks up the first foul of the game. That'll put the shot clock back up to 20. As they inbound, it comes in right back to Judge into the post. James now back to Judge on the drive, goes up, gets by the defense, and lays it in for 2. Judge, he's one of their top scorers with his first basket, and full court pressure from St. Cloud Tech with the Tigers leading 4-0 on our Park Region scoreboard. Micah Johnson, left-hand drive, looking for a teammate, comes back to Bethel. And Eston is guarded by Everett Stein in the man-to-man defense. He'll pull up. The 3 is blocked by Kroska, and rebound comes to Judge. Lead pass, Kroska had to just flip it up as he was out of control. Missed the shot, and Micah Johnson gets the Otter rebound. Over in the corner, Wiedrich. Otter's a little bit out of sorts here, but Wiedrich able to control the ball and get it back out to Johnson. Bethel over in the corner, Felstool into the post. Gents. Jacob Gents going to work. Pivots away, comes back to Felstool, almost lost it out of bounds, but the Otters retain possession. Bethel to Felstool, now it's Gents, shot fake, right-hand dribble, 8 to shoot. Tough fadeaway shot, that misses everything, and Wiedrich tries to save it, but it comes into the hand of Stein. Now the lead pass is behind Breaks, and it goes out of bounds, and that's a turnover on St. Cloud Tech. Kind of a frantic stanza here. Otters struggling offensively here to start the game. Wiedrich will come out, and Trenton Drulard is in. Trenton had 10 points off the bench on Tuesday at Ricori. And he's in the game here now. Micah Johnson hands off to Trenton. And he gets to a jump stop, comes to Felstool. Over to Bethel. Good pass right to Drulard. Layup is good. There's a good action. Good cut by Trenton. And Eston found him. Otters are on the board 4-2. There's a pass to Kroska. Layup is good. Otters didn't get back defensively there. And Kroska finishes. Good pass there by James. 6-2. Tech by 4. Almost 4 minutes into the game. Micah Johnson, right-hand dribble. Over to Felstool. Nolan on the drive. Back to Gents. Hands off Drulard. Trenton between the legs on the dribble, skips it over to Bethel. Eston spinning in the lane and went up in the air and put it back down on the floor, and it's a traveling violation. Suppose it could have been a double dribble too, but traveling is the call. Third turnover for the Otters, and right now some of the pressure for Tech, getting the Otters on their heels, maybe moving them a little faster than they want right now. And Tech with the ball. They're long and athletic here. They get it to James at the high post. He's 6'7". They go over to Stein, three-pointer, and nothing but net for Stein. So Everett Stein hits the three, and it's 9-2, a 7-point St. Cloud Tech lead. Here, 13.5 minutes of play. Now Johnson has it tipped away, and it's stolen, and the layup is good, and drawing the foul is Judge, and quite a start here for St. Cloud Tech as their defensive pressure really getting to the Otters here at the get-go. So Judge with 4, and Micah Johnson his first, team second, and Tech can kick the lead up to double digits here with this free throw by Judge, and it is good. Rimmed around a few times and went in, and it's 12-2. The Tigers are up by 10. See if the Otters can get in a rhythm here now as Eston Bethel with the basketball. Here's Eston working against Stein on the drive. Free throw line area, comes back to Drulard. Here's Trenton, and Trenton swings it to Micah. Up top to Bethel. Eston left hand drive, help comes, working his way in. Little 10-footer, rims out no good. And the rebound goes to Judge and the Tigers. He'll bring it up the floor. Stein wide open, three-pointer, nothing but net. And Matt Johnson's going to use a timeout. Quite a start here for the Tigers. 15-2, they lead it as they lost Stein a couple times for a couple threes. And it's 15-2, St. Cloud Tech with the lead. So we're going to take a Lake Region Healthcare timeout and a quick break. We'll be back with more Otter basketball right here on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Back here on our Lake Region Healthcare timeout, all Tigers to start it off. 15-2, St. Cloud Tech leading Fergus Falls. And Matt Johnson using a timeout here as Otters are certainly out of sorts. They've turned it over 4 times. It's led directly into some Tech points. And they've lost Everett Stein, sophomore, who really has a nice looking shooting touch. And now some double team pressure from the Tigers. And Gents swings it over to Trenton Drulard. Trenton on the drive, gathers, flips it up with his left hand, no good. Gents the offensive rebound. He's blocked by Kroska, and the rebound goes to Stein. Over it goes. Now it is Judge with the ball. They swing it over. It's Stein in the corner near side, dribbling left. Stein comes over to James, and James into the post, and Kroska is fouled. The third Otter team foul, and it's going to be a notable foul, second on Micah Johnson. So Micah now will come out with 2 fouls, and Eli Fullhart is in for the first time. 6'4" junior, 15-2, Tech with the lead, and they're going to throw it all the way into the backcourt to Nick Breaks as Tech sets it up. Man-to-man Otter defense. Breaks, brings up to Stein. They set up a play for him. Three-pointer is no good off the left side of the rim, and Fullhart with a rebound. They ran the elevator double screen up for Stein and missed it. Now Droulard's shot is blocked. Trenton gets the rebound, and he's drilled, and a foul on Tech. Really an athletic block shot there by James. Trenton got it right back and went to the basket and got fouled. But this is another level of quickness and athleticism, much more than what the Otters saw on Tuesday at Ricori. As Felstool dribbles left, Good pass right underneath Drulard. Left-hand layup a little too strong, and Stein with a rebound for the Tigers. Otters struggling mightily here offensively as they try to get things going and handle this Tech pressure. Now Tech with the ball, but Otters are going to need to get some stops here. Now Drulard jumps out on Judge and commits the foul going after the basketball. So Drulard picks up his first, team fourth. Molid Abdi is in for St. Cloud Tech. Stein gets a break after he put up 8 points in the first 6.5 minutes. And Judge inbounds. It comes into Monabenda James. Left-hand drive against Drulard and got away. Nope, he didn't get away with a walk. They did call the walk. And turnover number 3 on St. Cloud Tech. Full court pressure here from Tech. And kind of a 2-1-2 or another matching up. Yeah, it's a zone pressure here. Now they look like they're matching up in the man-to-man with Bethel getting it into the front court. Here's Drulard. Here comes to Jentz. Jacob, 2 dribbles right. Double team comes from behind. Finds Bethel. Eston, three-pointer. There we go. Eston hits the 3. Good pass from Jentz. And Don Ferguson is going to call a timeout. He quickly is not happy with his team on that one. That is some high expectations there. Getting out to a 15-2 lead, and then the Otters hit a 3. He's going to use a timeout and not happy with his team at the moment. This is a Lake Region Healthcare timeout. And Eston, he had 6 threes on Tuesday at Rocori. I think he had 5 last week against Sauk Rapids Rice, I believe. So if he's open, it's a great look for the Otters as Eston's at 40% on the season from 3. But a much-needed field goal for Fergus Falls. They now trail 15-5 on our Park Region scoreboard. And Tech will inbound in the backcourt. That'll put an end to our Lake Region Healthcare timeout. And with the basketball is Judge, 6'4" senior. And he swings it right side to Nick Breaks. Breaks. Bethel on him. Over it goes Judge. He'll shoot the deep 3. That's good. That had some distance to it. And Judge now with 8. And the lead is back up to 13 for the Tigers at 18-5. Eston Bethel handling the ball. Comes to Drulard near side wing. And Trenton in the middle to Bethel. Dishes it off to Jentz. Right shoulder turn. Comes to Fellstool. Over it goes Bethel. And Trenton dishes full heart 15-footer. That's swatted out of bounds by James. As he's had a couple blocks already. It'll stay with the Otters. Wiedrich back in. Fellstool will get a break. Of course, the Tigers are well aware of how good a shooter Nolan Fellstool is. He hasn't got a shot up yet. He had 5 threes in the first half on February 2nd in St. Cloud. As the Otters inbound, they got 10 to shoot. Wiedrich across, it goes to Jentz. Corner to Fullhart. Now Trenton Drulard. 4 to shoot. Trenton on the drive, stripped and stolen, and it's picked up by the Tigers. Here they go in transition. Judge goes up. Bethel contests. Fullhart had it for a moment, but the rebound comes to Abdi for the Tigers, and he'll bring it back out. 18-5. Tech by 13, 10 minutes to play first half. And now with the ball, it's Alan Woods Jr. who checked in on the previous dead ball. Over it goes to James. Hands it off, 3-pointer for Judge. That's short, and it goes off the hands of Woods and out of bounds. Otters get the ball. 9:47, 18-5. Tigers by 13, and they inbound to Wiedrich. And here's Eston Bethel now. And Eston into the front court. Full court pressure from Abdi. It goes over to Fullhart. Near the top, Jentz to Bethel. Near side corner, it's Drulard. And Drulard comes back to Bethel. And here's Eston working against Abdi. He jukes him one way, comes back, shoots the 3, no good. Good offensive rebound, Fullhart. He puts it up, that's no good. Wiedrich with the rebound. Cam puts it back up and in. Good job on the offensive boards by the Otters. Give Wiedrich his first basket of the game. 18-7. Tigers by 11. Lob to Kroska. Weak side help, not there. Easy layup is good for Kroska. Give Judge the assist. 20-7. Every time the Otters have scored, it seems like Tech has matched them right away. And the lead is back to 13 with Bethel over to Fullhart. Under 9 minutes to go in the half. Man-to-man defense for the Tigers. Here's Bethel retreating back. Now moves right over to Fullhart. And Eli, little back, a good cut, and Drulard is blocked but fouled by Kroska. Excellent pass by Fullhart. And we'll have the first free throws of the game for Fergus Falls as Drulard will go to the line. And that foul is on Kyle Kroska, his first, team second. And Trenton Drulard, 6'4" junior, in the 5 games he's played this year, he's averaged 10 points a game. That one's off the heel, no good though. And Nick Brakes comes back for Tech. Kroska will come out. 20-7, St. Cloud Tech by 13. Henning leading Underwood halfway through the first half, 28-12. Henning looking to complete an undefeated regular season. They're 25-0, number 1 rated team in Class A Minnesota basketball. Trenton's second free throw, that doesn't get the roll, and the rebound goes to Montabenda James and the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. James over, it goes to Woods. And Woods' right-hand dribble. It's Nick Brakes across to Judge. Pulls up his dribble, back, cut, pass, tipped by Fullhart and out. Tigers will keep it. Micah Johnson, who came out with 2 fouls earlier, is back in. Drulard comes out. And it will be inbound by Woods and the Tigers. Comes into the corner to Judge in front of the Otter bench. Gents is on him. And Judge up to Woods. Left to right on the dribble. Now retreats back, keeps the dribble going. Hands it off to Abdi on the drive. Tip from behind, and there's a good tip by Fullhart, and Gents comes up with the ball. 4th turnover of the game for St. Cloud Tech. Here's Bethel. Over it goes to Johnson. Now it's Wiedrich. Short corner area, Jacob Gents working his way in. Turns right shoulder, the double comes, but Brakes is going to get called for the reach-in. They are giving Jacob Gents a good amount of attention when he gets it. Of course, they got some size and length, and they're going to come and look to double. But Brakes picks up his first personal 3rd team foul. Woods comes out. Everett Stein, who had 2 threes earlier in the game, is back in. And Bethel inbounds Johnson. Micah, 3-pointer, no good. And Stein, he gets his 5th rebound of the game. Quickly up the floor. Here comes James. Bounce pass. It's behind Brakes, and it goes out of bounds. 5th turnover for Tech. So both teams now with 5 turnovers in the game. And St. Cloud Tech will apply the full court pressure with 7:40 to play. First half, Otters struggling offensively to get anything going as St. Cloud Tech effective man-to-man pressure defense here so far. Here's Bethel. Eston spins away, tipped away, and he does get it back. Dumps it under to Johnson. Micah missed the layup, and the rebound comes to Judge. He'll make that 95 times out of 100. Just didn't get it that time. Pull up for Brakes is no good, and Eli Fullhart with a rebound for the Otters. Microcosm, the Otters struggles here so far, getting anything to go. Micah with the ball against Brakes. Bounce pass comes to Gents on the left wing. Jacob drives, spins back, double team comes, and he traveled with it. And the ball will go back to St. Cloud Tech. Really good defensive effort here by St. Cloud Tech. Gents is so good with his footwork and great moves, but when he gets it, they're coming, and they come from the weak side where they don't see it coming. And then when Jacob realized there's a defender, flinched a moment, and it was enough to force a travel. So the Otters trailing 20-7, 6:50 to play first half. Only 3 field goals in the game for Fergus Falls. Breaks top of the key with it. Over it goes. Gilo is in the game, but his pass is intercepted by Felstuhl. Now Felstuhl pass to Bethel. Now Bethel is hit and fouled. It's O'Kiley Gilo who checked in. He was originally, Don Ferguson told me he was going to start but didn't know if he could go, and he didn't end up starting, but now he is in off the bench. Isaac Mock into the game for the first time for the Otters as Gents comes out. And Micah Johnson takes the inbound, and he is guarded by 6'7", Montabenda James. Hands it off to Felstuhl. And Nolan over, it goes to Wiedrich. Left-hand dribble for Cam. Gets to a jump stop. Now it's the Micah Johnson passes behind him, but there is going to be a foul, and the Otters are fortunate there as it's going to be a foul. The pass was headed out of bounds. Otters right now, you just get the feel like they're just unsure and uneasy about everything offensively. And they need to get some success and get a little bit of confidence of handling. It's athletic players and athletic bodies that are long, and if you're not careful, the turnovers will come. A little tentative right now. Bethel steps back. Three-pointer is good for Eston Bethel. So Eston with a pair of threes and 6 points. And it's 20-10. Otters trail by 10. Now the Tigers have answered every time the Otters scored. See if the Otters can get a stop and try to keep chipping away on this lead. It's Stein with the ball. Over, it goes to Kroska. Now Nick breaks near side, fakes right, comes back left. Pull up 15-footer. That's no good. And the Otters get that stop they wanted. Fellstool with a rebound. Micah Johnson up the left side. He penetrates, goes right up against Kroska. Blocking foul on Kroska and Micah Johnson. Good smart move initiating the contact there. And Kroska bid on it and committed the foul. Went right at him, and he'll be rewarded with 2 free throws. Kroska's second personal, team 6th, with 5:54 to go, and Micah Johnson to the free throw line to shoot 2. Micah 67% on the year, and the free throw is good. First point of the game for Micah. Matthew Welch is into the game for the first time for the Tigers. Judge is back in as James and Breaks come out. Second free throw by Johnson is good. 5 in a row here now for the Otters. They cut the lead to 8 at 20-12. And 5:40 to play. First half. Up top it's Gilo with it. Near side it's Judge. Now it's Welch. Over to Stein. Thinks about the shot. Between the legs now on the dribble. Gets it to Judge. Fellstool switches on him on the drive. Tough off-balance shot. Didn't get the roll. And there's Isaac Mock on the weak side rebound for the Otters. Over to Bethel. And here is Eston with it. Left to right on the dribble. Turns a corner. Tries to dish it to Mock. Mock has it in lane. Bounces it back out to Eston. Pick and roll with Mock. Now Bethel. Lobs it over to Micah Johnson. Wiedrich in the corner. And up back out to Fellstool. He swings it over to Bethel. And Eston will pull up for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Long rebound deflected out to Welch and St. Cloud Tech. He'll pull up his dribble in the front court. Now Judge on the drive. A little out of control. Gets it over in the corner. Now behind the back. Welch, step back, 15-footer. That's good. Good rhythm there by 5'11 sophomore Matthew Welch. His first points of the game. 10-point St. Cloud Tech lead at 22-12. As Bethel with it in the corner on the drive. Right to the hoop. Eston too much for Stein on that one-on-one move. Eston with 8. And the lead is 8 for the Tigers at 22-14. Jacob Jentz ready to come back in the game. As is Trenton Drulard. As ball screen, it's Judge. Floating shot, got it to go. That was a tough shot for Judge. He swished it right through. Got a ball screen moving right. Turned the corner and just put a soft shot up from about 8 feet running. And he's now in double digits with 10. Three-pointer Fellstool. Nicks the rim. Mock, though, tracks down the offensive rebound. Pass underneath to Wiedrich. And there's going to be a reach-in foul on the Tigers. And that will put Wiedrich to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Fouls on O'Kiley Gilo, his second, team 7th. Mock is out. Jentz is in. And Drulard waiting to come in. But Wiedrich's at the free throw line. He's waiting to come in for Wiedrich. Cam Wiedrich, one of the seniors honored here tonight on senior night. He's got a couple points in the game. Fullhart is in, and Fellstool will come out. And Cam Wiedrich, front end of the 1-and-1 here, coming up. And he right-hands this one up, and that is no good. Jentz, though, trying to battle for the offensive board, and it's going to finally be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Otters. Otters will keep it. Drulard is in. Wiedrich comes out. 24-14. St. Cloud Tech leading. 3:49 first half. Otters with a win will very likely have a home game in the Section 8-3A playoffs. A loss, they'll send them on the road, highly likely to Wilmer. They'd fall all the way to the 6th seed, likely with a loss. Drulard working on the drive, going to be a hold foul, and Gilo's going to pick up his 3rd, and Drulard will get back to the free throw line. So Gilo picks up the foul. Well, maybe that was only his second. Maybe I was off on that one. They only have him up there with his second. We'll go with that for now. And Drulard to shoot the 1-and-1. That one's no good. And the rebound is tracked down by Abdi. So the shooting has been tough from the field and from the free throw line. The Otters are 2 for 6 from the line, trailing by 10. Here's Gilo. Dishes, Judge, deep three, and it goes. That was a long one, and Judge, he's a player. And he's got 13 now in the game, and the lead is 13 for Tech. That matches their biggest of the game. Good dish from Bethel. Jentz is hammered as he goes up, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Good pass, penetration, and pass by Eston. And Jacob Jentz, 15 points per game. He's looking for his first point of the game here. Well, at halftime, Wilmer is leading St. Cloud Apollo at Apollo 30-25. That'd be a big win for Wilmer. That would pretty much lock them in at the 3 seed as Jentz makes his free throw. First point of the game for Jacob Jentz. Nick breaks back in for the Tigers. Monabenda James comes out. Well, Running Stitches, the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. Second free throw by Jacob Jentz is good. And it's 27-16. The Tigers by 11 on our Park Region scoreboard. 3:05 to play here in the first half. Now the Otters switching things up, going to a zone here. 2-3 zone, breaks in the middle. Back out, three-pointer, Abdi, in and out, no good. Tipped by Drulard, controlled by Jentz. Gets it over to Fullhart. Eli goes to Bethel. Baseline drive, goes up, too strong off the glass. Tipped from behind, but it's going to be a foul on Jentz going over the back. And St. Cloud Tech will get the ball back. Only the the 5th team foul on the Otters. Jacob's first personal. Just a tough rhythm night here for the Otters offensively. As they go back into their zone, slashing to the lane, going up, and there's a foul called on the Otters. As a slashing cut to Judge. And Trenton Drulard gets his second, team 6th. It was on the floor, so it will be thrown in by Gilo for the Tigers. So Gilo will inbound. Tigers with a line end out across the baseline. And he comes in, gets to Welch, top of the key. Judge, open three-pointer is good. What a half for Judge, as he's got 16 now, and it's the biggest lead of the game for the Tigers of 14 points at 30-16 on the Park Region scoreboard. Drulard, baseline drive. Trenton loses his balance, and when he lost his balance, he traveled with it. And that is the 7th Fergus Falls turnover in the game. And Micah Johnson is in, and Drulard will come out. Substitutions here for the Tigers as well. They right now have Stein, Judge, Abdi, Welch, and Breaks. Otters with Bethel, Johnson, Fullhart, Jentz, and Fellstuhl. Their original, that Fullhart is in, I guess, on Wiedrich, other than their original starting lineup. A little over 2 minutes to play in the half. Judge on the baseline drive, skips it across. There's Welch, three-pointer off the front of the rim, no good. Good rebound there by Fullhart, and he gets it to Bethel. Eston working against Nick Breaks. Left to right, it goes over to Micah Johnson. And here's Micah. Bounce pass into the post to Jentz. Jentz working against Abdi. Turns, goes up, and banks it home. There's that good footwork by Jentz, his first field goal. And it's 30-18, 12-point Tiger lead as they get it to Breaks near side. Left-hand drive, working against Johnson. Comes back, floating shot, goes up off the heel, and Fellstuhl with the outer rebound. And goes to Micah Johnson. Here comes Micah, flips it to Bethel. Eston pulls up, three-pointer, in and out, no good. And Judge with a rebound for Tech. And he will walk it up. We are at 1:12 to play first half. Judge against Bethel, and Eston's going to get a reach-in foul. That's going to be free throws for Judge. Eston's first, team 7th. Gilo back in for Tech. Abdi comes out. What a first half for Judge. He's got 16 points, 3 threes. He's 1 for 1 from the line. Front end of the 1-on-1 is good. He's the guy you didn't want to foul. He's got 17 now. And the lead is 11 for St. Cloud Tech. Second one is up and no good. And Nolan Fellstool with the rebound. Not sure if that score is right. Yeah, it's a 13-point lead. They gave the point to the wrong team for a moment. 30. I'll look at the score in a moment. Now Jensen's pass knocked away. Otters do come up with it. And here's Micah Johnson. Right to left on the dribble. And it goes, it should be 31-18. And now the pass deflected out by Breaks. And out of bounds. Otters with 11 to shoot as Woods comes back in for the Tigers. .44 seconds to play in the half. Tech up 31-18. And they come in to Bethel. 9 on the shot clock. Eston the drive to the hoop. Eston finishes. Bethel in double figures with 10. 31-20. Tigers by 11. 31 seconds to play. Basically about a half a second differential between the shot and game clock, so the Tigers can hold for the last shot. Breaks dribbling up top. Micah Johnson giving him some space. And Breaks waiting for the time to strike here as we are now at 10 seconds to play in the half. Breaks now on the move. Ball screen left, kicks it out. Three-pointer. Stein off the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the board. Bethel comes up with it. Lead pass, Fullhart. 3 at the buzzer, off the rim, no good. That would have been a beauty had that gone in. He got it off just in time after the rebound. Bethel, good pass to find Fullhart and had a clean look, and it was off the rim, no good. And that'll put an end to our first half of play on our Park Region Service Beyond the Connection scoreboard. Good half for the Tigers. They lead the Otters 30. Well, it says 32. I sure think it's 31. It's we're going to stick with 31-20. They got 32-20 up there. 31-20 on our Park Region scoreboard. And we'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be our Minnesota Motor Company halftime report. As Otters, well, they had a big lead the first time they played Tech, and Tech came back to get within 2. Otters are going to have to play the comeback game in this one, trailing by 11 at the half. Back with more Otter Boys basketball in the Minnesota Motor halftime report after this.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
And we're back here. Our Minnesota Motor halftime report. And St. Cloud Tech with the lead, 32-20 on our Park Region scoreboard. And the Tigers' defense has been the story here in the first half. They've got the Otters a little bit unsure of themselves. And it's not that the Otters have turned it over a lot, 7 times in the first half. The turnovers that they had have been consequential, leading into some fast break opportunities for St. Cloud. But the Otters offensively just not in any type of rhythm and kind of looking over their shoulder a little bit. Tech doing a good job of pressuring with their length and athleticism and making the passing lane tough to see, getting tips and just causing the Otters to probably move a little bit faster than what they're used to. And coming at Jacob Jentz with double teams in the post. And it's just been a tough night for the Otters so far, but we got another half to go. And Otters have shot only 26% from the field in the first half. St. Cloud Tech has shot 44%, thanks to Dean Nielsen with some field goal percentage. I got the field goals, but not the percentage. And Otters only 26% here in the first half. Let's take a look at the scoring for St. Cloud Tech. What a half for Judge. Judge, 6'4" junior, 17 points to lead all scorers. He has 3 threes in the game. 8 points for Everett Stein, who had a pair of early threes. 4 for Kyle Kroska and 2 for Matthew Welch. And the Tigers led on the boards by Stein with 5 and Judge with 4. And with the assists, it's 2 assists apiece for Monabenda James, Judge, and Nick Breaks. On the outer side, they're led by Eston Bethel. Eston with 10 points. He's got a pair of threes, 4 for Jacob Jentz, 2 points apiece for Trenton Drulard, Cam Wiedrick, and Micah Johnson. Otters led on the boards by Eli Fullhart, who has 4, 3 rebounds apiece for Felstuhl and Jentz. And no Otter has more than 1 assist in this half. Otters only have 7 first half field goals so far. Otters up on the boards, 19-17. 6 turnovers for the Tigers, 7 for Fergus Falls. Tigers with 12 total field goals, 5 threes, 3 from Judge, 2 from Stein, and Tech is 2 for 3 from the line. Otters only 7 first half field goals, both their threes from Eston Bethel, and they're 4 of 8 from the free throw line. And the Tigers scored the first basket of the game. They have not trailed in this one, as it is 32-20. St. Cloud Tech leading here at the half. And the winner of this game will likely be at home to start off the Section 8 3A playoffs. The loser will likely be on the road. So a lot to play for. Otters would like to play another home game, but they're going to have to do it coming from behind. They trail at the half 32-20. So we'll take another timeout. We'll be back with more on our Minnesota Motor halftime report after this.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
31. And we're back here. We're trying to hash out the score. We're almost certain it should be 31-20. Now our scoreboard, our graphic scoreboard, has 31-20. But the scoreboard up here is 32-20, and usually by this point you'd have a correction on that, and there hasn't been a correction, but we'll see if that comes to fruition, and maybe it won't here, but see what comes up. It's our Minnesota Motor halftime report, and Otters trail. It's either 31-20 or 32-20, and we look at what other scores here. Let's see if we got any scores. We did have a Henning Underwood score that had come through. Yeah, we got a lot more scores here now. Henning leading Underwood at the half in Henning 50-25. The Hornets on their way to an undefeated regular season. Big game in Pelican Rapids. Late first half, Breckenridge leading Pelican Rapids 36-30. Border West halfway through the first half, leading West Central area 13-12. Hillcrest is up at Norman County East Hewlin Hitterdall 68-57 with 8 minutes to play in the game. Perham up at the half against Hawley at home 30-24. And then in CLC play, DL is at Sartell, no update there. And Wilmer is leading 30-25 at St. Cloud Apollo. That's an interesting one there. Wilmer would seal up the 3 seed for sure with a win at St. Cloud Apollo. And they did update the score. It is 31-20. So yeah, we were pretty certain that score wasn't correct. When Judge had that first free throw, they by accident they put the score up for the Otters, and then when they realized the mistake, they flipped it back. I think they gave Tech an extra point. So the score should be 31-20, and it is. So that's where we're going to be at as we get ready for our second half. As our Minnesota Motor halftime report comes to a close, ready to play some ball here. Yeah, they're talking with Don Ferguson. And yep. Yeah, we had a couple different sources here that had 31. And now the officials discussing it. Of course, all that should matter is what the scorebook says, you know, and now they're still still working it through, and on the scoreboard it is 31-20, and that is what it's going to stay. So it's an 11-point deficit here to start the second half. The Otters got to get it going offensively here. Only 26% from the field in the first half, as St. Cloud Tech was 44%. And the Tigers will start with the basketball. And Nick Breaks will inbound at midcourt. Otters with their original starting five of Jentz, Bethel, Wiedrich, Johnson, and Felstuhl. And the inbounds comes into Everett Stein. We're underway here in the second half. And Stein with it. Otters man-to-man defensively. Comes to Judge. Hands off to Breaks. Breaks spins back left going against Bethel. Goes up, contact, and there's a foul. And Nick Breaks will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Physical attacking drive by Breaks. And Bethel gets his second. And Nick Breaks, he had a big night on Tuesday against Apollo with 26 points. He didn't score in the first half. Judge did plenty of that with 17. And his free throw is up, and Breaks is on the board with his first point of the game. 32-20. Tech by a dozen. Just getting the second half going. And Breaks with a very methodical free throw routine. Puts that one up, nothing but net. 13-point lead for the Tigers. And now they come with the full court zone pressure over to Bethel. Going for the steal, they didn't get it. Bethel bounce past Jentz, attacks on the baseline. Contact, no call, tipped around. Kroska with a rebound for Tech. Here comes in transition. Stein goes up, layup is good. Excellent pass by James, and Stein finishes. He's in double figures with 10. And it's the biggest lead of the game for the Tigers at 15 at 35-20. Bethel on the drive. Across, the pass is behind Jentz and goes out of bounds. 8th Otter turnover in the game. And now the Otters will pick up full court man-to-man defensively. And it comes into Everett Stein. Right-hand dribble working against Fellstuhl. And Stein between the legs on the dribble comes over to Judge. Judge now is pass trying to get it to the curling James, and errant pass. And Otters come up with a steal. 7th Tech turnover. Fellstuhl working against breaks. They swing it over to Eston Bethel. On the drive, Eston spinning, goes up and couldn't get it to go. Ball tipped around. He gets it back. He's blocked. Eston again, and this time he's raked over the arms and he is fouled. So Bethel will go to the line to shoot 2. And that is the 3rd personal on Kyle Kroska. So Kroska, the 6'6" senior, with 3 fouls. First foul on the Tigers in the second half. And Bethel, free throw off the heel, no good. Eston with 10 points in the game, 3 rebounds. And Molid Abdi is in as Breaks comes out. 2nd free throw for Eston, in and out and in. And he's got 11 points. And it's 35-21, Tigers by 14 on our Park Region scoreboard. Abdi into the front court against Bethel. Right wing to Stein. Ball screen moving left, pick and roll with Kroska. Swings it to Judge. Now into the post. Weider comes to double, tips it away, and Fellstuhl gets the ball. And the Otters, good defense on that possession. Now Bethel almost loses it, gets it back, drives. Wiedrich, little runner, or little shot on the baseline from about 6 feet is good. Cam Wiedrich with the basket. He's got 4. Give Eston the assist, and it's 35-23. Wiedrich coming from behind and just got a little too aggressive reaching around and is called for the foul. So Cam Wiedrich with his second personal, team second, and Drulard will come in. Wiedrich will come out. Otters trail by 12, 35-23. Trying to get that offense going. Only 7 first half field goals and 8 in the game. Now Stein in the backcourt. Here comes Bethel coming on the run and jump double team. Bounce pass, it comes on the sideline. And now James skips it all the way across to Judge. Penetrates, dishes, nice pass underneath. Layup is good for Kaltik Dieng, who had just checked in for the first time. And it was a beauty of a pass, a left-handed pass by Judge. And it's a 14-point lead for the Tigers. 37-23. Here's Drulard with it. And Trenton, couple dribbles left, comes to Jentz. Hands off Bethel, shot fake. Now Eston over to Micah Johnson. Drulard with it. Inside it goes Fellstuhl. Back to Trenton. 8 on the shot clock. In the middle, pass behind Bethel. Otters turn it over for the 9th time. Just not in any type of comfort zone this whole game for the Otters offensively. The Tiger defense has been good pressure, and then to do that along with their length, it's tough to go against it. On the drive, Stein right to the hoop, couldn't get it to go. Good tip by Drulard, who got it over to Bethel before Dieng could secure the offensive rebound. Now Eston on the drive, comes back to Drulard. Trenton looks at the hoop. Now he will shoot the 3 off the heel. Rebound going high. Jentz with it. Stripped as he goes up, goes out of bounds off of the Tigers. Good offensive rebound by Jacob there. And Eston Bethel will throw it in. I get caught every once in a while. We've said Henry Bethel for so many years. And now the pass by Bethel is low to Trenton Drulard, and Tech comes up with a steal. Now it is Abdi. Over it goes to Stein, far side. And Stein dribbles left towards the top. It's James. Now Bethel almost stole it. Abdi, floating shot, bounces around, and he got a nice roll. It looked like it was going off the right side of the rim. Kicked back off the glass and in. Abdi with his first field goal. Biggest lead for Tech at 16 at 39-23. Drulard, wide open three, no good. Bethel the offensive rebound. Out to Fellstool. Nolan catches, fires, and rattles home the three. Good to see Nolan get his first three to go. He hasn't had many looks. That's maybe his second look. And it's 39-26. Tigers by 13 on the drive. Good defense by Johnson. Abdi three-pointer off the heel, no good. Battle for the board. It went off of Stein. And the Otters will get it. Got to string together stops and get in a rhythm offensively. So full court pressure here coming for the Tigers, and Fellstool will inbound. Some zone pressure, and it comes into Eston Bethel. And here's Eston, man-to-man defense for St. Cloud Tech. Otters trailing by 13. Got to get into the single digits and work from there. Bethel to Fullhart. Now it is Micah Johnson. Micah on the drive, jump stop. Pivoting away, looking for a teammate. Finds Fullhart, gathers. He's pushing the back. No call, but Fullhart gets it to go. Good job by Fullhart, absorbing that physical contact and finishing on the reverse. And it's 39-28. First basket of the game for Eli. 13-10 to play. Judge working against Johnson. Bethel comes to double team, but a reach-in foul on Eston. So Eston will get his third. And he's going to, looks like he might be coming out for a moment. And now Wiedrich is in. Eston will come out with his third team foul. So that's a blow for the Otters anytime Eston's got to come out of the game for an extended period. We'll see how long Coach Johnson keeps him on the bench. Here is left-hand drive. Judge pull up 13-footer. He is tough, knocks it down. Got the extension. He's got the length and size. His first field goal of the second half. He's got 19 in the game. And the Tigers back up by 13. Johnson over to Wiedrich. And Cam Wiedrich. Fullhart inside the arc, right side. Now to Johnson. It's Micah. Spins towards the lane. Jump stop. Tries to dump it off. Gets it to Jentz. Jentz working against Yang, goes up, contact, no call. Fullhart falls to the floor and is called for the travel. So Otters wanted a foul with not being straight up with the arms, but it ends up being a travel. 11th Fergus Falls turnover. 12.5 minutes to go, and Stein takes the inbound. Working against Nolan Fellstool, man-to-man Otter defense. And Stein trying to get the Tigers in their set. Looks like a little 1-4 set action. And still a little disorganized. Now they never got into what they wanted to do. They're going to swing it over to Stein. 13 on the shot clock. Stein, it's going to be a moving screen on Tech. So that was not the possession Coach Ferguson was looking for. A lot of confusion, and ended with a moving screen on Judge. His second, team second, and 9th Tech turnover. And Otters inbound. Otters with Fellstool, Wiedrich, Jentz, Johnson, and Fullhart. Eston Bethel on the bench with 3 fouls. Micah Johnson on the drive to the hoop. Off the glass, curls it in. Good move there by Micah, attacking his first field goal. He's got 4. 41-30. Tigers by 11. Now losing the ball is Gilo, but he does get it back. Gets it over to Woods. Wiedrich on him. Otters trying to up the pressure. Tipped by Fullhart, and the Otters come up with a steal. Lead pass. Wiedrich to the basket. He goes up. Contact, no call, and it is out of bounds off of Fullhart. Now I think the Otters wanted one there. Didn't get it. And it will go to Tech. Out of bounds off of Fergus Falls. Physical action here. And Wiedrich got behind. He went to the hoop. And there certainly was contact there, but no call, and Tech will get the ball on the drive. Gilo out of control, didn't get it to go. Fullhart battling underneath, but Stein comes up with it, ripped it away, and is able to put it up and in. Stein with a dozen, 43-30, and now there's going to be a reaching foul on the Tigers, trying to pressure the ball after that made basket. It's going to be on Allen Woods Jr. First personal, 3rd team foul. And it'll be Welch back in. Woods will come out. 43-30, St. Cloud Tech by 13, 11-17 to play in the game. And Felstool looking, and now there's going to be a reach-in foul on Gilo. The ball hadn't been inbound yet, and Gilo trying to jockey for position, and he picks up his third. Eston Bethel is back in the game. Felstool comes out. Fourth team foul on Tech. Now Coach Ferguson's going to bring him back. Now Breaks went for the steal, didn't get it in the backcourt as he gets it up to Johnson. Fullhart, three-pointer in the corner, and Eli Fullhart hits the three. He's really having a nice game. Doing some nice jobs on the boards, and now he hits a three. The Otters are within 10 at 43-33. Here's Judge. He's been the main man tonight on the drive. Johnson pressuring him hard, and it's stolen by Wiedrich. Cam Wiedrich to the basket. Layup is good, and the Otters have cut the lead to single digits at 8. And Don Ferguson wants a timeout. Some life here in the Otter field house as it's now 43-35 on our Park Region scoreboard. As we take a Lake Region Healthcare timeout, Coach Ferguson uses a full timeout. We will as well. We'll be back with more Otter boys basketball right after this on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Coming back here off of our Lake Region Healthcare timeout. And the Otters are on the move. They were trailing just a little bit ago by 16. But now they were down 39-23. But they've gone on a 12-4 run to cut the lead to 8. And this is the first time it's been in single digits for quite a while since the first half. Otters, they're cranking up their defensive pressure, turning the tables a little bit. And now they're going to apply some full court pressure, but they get it into Judge and St. Cloud Tech with the ball. Now you feel like Tech is moving a little bit faster than they have been. See if the Otters can keep this run going. Judge with it. Over it goes to Welch. And now it is James. Got away with a walk. Over it goes. Three-pointer. No good. Welch. There's Eli Fullhart high for the rebound for the Otters. Eli keeping up a very nice night for Matt Johnson. Otters trying to creep closer. Bethel. Over goes to Gents. Gents been held tonight. Only 4 so far. Bethel open. Three-pointer in the air. No good. Battle for the board. Tipped around. Gents gathers it. He goes up. Contact. And then they do get the call coming in at the end. And he will go to the line to shoot 2. Good job, Jacob Gents on the offensive board. His 5th rebound of the game. 10:05 to go on the clock. And that foul, that's going to be number 4 on 6'6" senior Kyle Kroska. He's a presence on the inside. Gents' free throw is good. Jacob with 5 in the game. He's 3 for 3 from the line. And it's a 7-point lead for St. Cloud Tech at 43-36. Molid Abdi is in. Kroska with 4 fouls comes out. Over at Sartell, 11 minutes to play in the game. Sartell leading Detroit Lakes. Well, now 7 minutes ago, it's all Sartell, 77-53. Gents' free throw is good. It's a 14-4 run for the Otters. They're within 6 at 43-37. Breaks right to the hoop, puts it up, and gets it to go. That was tough off-balance shot. Got it up on the rim and got the roll. Breaks now with 4. And it's an 8-point lead for the Tigers at 45-37. Here's Micah Johnson working against Breaks. Left-hand dribble over the timeline. And Breaks. Some good pressure here. Now Micah's going to drive, kicks it over to Gents. Gents left-hand drive, steps through, goes up, blocked, tipped out of bounds, and it is off of the Tigers. It'll stay with the Otters. Now there was a possession where the Tigers' pressure was back and tough to handle with the full court pressure with Johnson, and then suffocating Gents going up on the double team, but the Otters do keep possession. And Bethel needs to get it in. He's got to get it in, and it's going to be a 5-second count. Yeah, nowhere to go, and the Tigers answering here with a very strong defensive possession to get the ball back. 12th Otter turnover. 45-37. St. Cloud Tech by 8, 9.5 minutes to play. And up the floor, here's a double team, Abdi. They get it over to Breaks in the corner. Bethel knocks it away into the bench of Tech, and St. Cloud Tech will throw it in. Felstool and Drulard are going to come in. Fullhart and Wiedrich come out. Fullhart and Wiedrich really gave the Otters a nice boost in this run. Get back in the game. It comes into Breaks. Breaks on the drive, steps through. Bank shot off the glass, no good. Felstool with a rebound for the Otters. Nolan's got 5 in the game. And he's got it on the right side. Swings it over to Bethel. Esten fakes left, comes back right. Bounce pass, Gents goes up. Bank shot good. Good drive by Esten, his 4th assist. Gents with 8. Lead is 6, 45-39. Halfway through the second half. And the Outer Fieldhouse getting a little louder here as the Otters get closer. Here's a 3-pointer. That's no good by Abdi. Ball tipped, tapped. Judge with it. He's got it against Johnson. Double team. Ball tipped. Knocked away. Out of bounds. Off of the Otters. Otter fans thought it might have been off the Tigers. It will go to St. Cloud Tech with 15 on the shot clock. That was anybody's ball. No one could quite get a good grip on it. And it got tapped 2-3 times and finally went out. Drulard is out. Fullhart is back in. 8:46 to play. They come into Breaks in the corner. Back out to Matthew Welch. And now Abdi. Kroska's back in with 4 fouls. Goes up against Gents. Off the glass. High off the glass. And he banks it in. That was a tough shot. Pretty good defense. But Kroska gets it to go. He's got 6. It's 47-39. Here's Bethel, gets a ball screen from Gents. Now Esten comes to Fullhart. Eli on the drive, steps through, goes up, traveled with it. Stutter stepped, he got to a jump stop, but his momentum kept moving him forward. And it's the 13th Otter turnover. 8:18 to play. Tech will inbound in the backcourt. Full court man-to-man defense from Fergus Falls. It comes into Nick Breaks. Esten Bethel is on him. And Breaks up the right side. Double team comes from Johnson, and Micah knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers. Pelican Rapids 41, Breckenridge 40. 13 minutes to go. Good Heart of Lakes Conference game in Pelican Rapids going on. As high post area goes to Kroska. Back cut, stolen by Fullhart. Good job by Eli. Up the floor. Bethel in transition. Layup is good. All right, Esten with 13. Lead is 6. 47-41. Kroska working against Felstool. And a big size advantage for Kroska. And he banks it in. Kroska with 8. The lead back up to 8 at 49-41. Couple quick baskets for both teams there. And Bethel steps back, comes to Gents. Jacob spins towards the lane, scoops it up high off the glass, couldn't get it to go, and James with a rebound for the Tigers. Tigers trying to kick their lead back up to double digits. And James against Fullhart, he loses it, and Bethel with the steal. Here's Esten, streaking to the hoop, layup is blocked, but a foul, and Esten will go to the line. Esten went down hard, up maybe a little slow, looking at his hand. But the foul is on Manabenda James. The third personal and 6-team foul. Esten will shoot 2. He's 1 for 2 from the line with 13 points in the game. And the free throw is up and good. 14 for Bethel. He leads the Otters. Otters within 7 at 49-42. Gilo is in for Tech as James comes out. And Judge back in as Abdi comes out. Judge been a little more quiet here in the second half. He had 17, only 2 in the second so far. Second free throw by Bethel curls off the rim, no good. And Kroska with a rebound for the Tigers. 7:12 to play, 49-42. Tech by 7. It's Everett Stein with it, near side to Judge. Right-hand drive, jump stop, spins away, off balance, and it's stolen by Bethel. Otters defense kicking it up. Here's Bethel right to the hoop, layup, rims off, no good, out of bounds off of breaks. Otters will keep it. That's one Eston would like back, as he's going to make that a lot of times, but just went off the heel. And Trenton Drulard is in. Wiedrich comes out, and timeout called by Coach Ferguson and St. Cloud Tech. We'll take our last Lake Region Healthcare timeout. Otters fighting back into this thing. They're down 7, 49-42, 6:56 to play as you're listening or watching to Otter Boys basketball on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Back here, coming off our Lake Region Healthcare timeout, the Otters dug themselves a hole tonight. They struggled mightily in the first half. Trailed 31-20 at the half. Trailed by as many as 16 in the second, but slowly but surely, behind their defensive effort, they are within 7. And the winner of this game is going to be almost certainly going to be at home next week in the first round of the 8-3-8 tournament. The loser will have to go on the road. Otters trying to play for one more time at home here this season. They have the ball, trailing by 7, and Jacob Jentz with it. Otters with Bethel, Jentz, Johnson, Fullhart, and Drulard. Now Bethel loses balance, keeps his dribble going. Now it's knocked away, but that was a foul there on Gilo. And there's going to be technical foul, it looks like, on Gilo. So he's going to be out of the game. He's going to foul out. That was going to be his 4th foul, and then the technical will be his 5th. And I'm not sure what was said. Obviously, some magic words were said pretty quickly, but it was a good hard foul. There was certainly a foul on Eston. The Tigers would have been fine if they just would have held their double team and not reached so hard, but they did. And Eston's free throw rims around and finds the net. So this is going to be 2 shots for the technical, and then I would guess a 1-and-1 for Eston after that. Free throw by Bethel is good, and the Otters are within 5 at 49-44. Well, now it's going to be, they're going to get the ball as well too, so more free throws for Bethel. He hits that. It's going to end up being 4 shots and the ball for the Otters. I thought it was going to be maybe the one, but because it was a technical, the Otters get the ball back. Wow. Otters within 4, and they are now within 3 as Bethel makes 4 free throws in a row. 6:41 to play, and Fergus Falls will get the basketball. What a massive turn of events there. The foul and the technical foul on Gilo. Bethel makes 4 free throws in a row. The Otters have the ball, and just like that, they are within 1 possession. It's a 3-point game. They trail Tech with 6:41 to play. Now they go into the backcourt to Micah Johnson. It's Abdi guarding him. And here is Micah. Left-hand dribble into the front court. Over to Eston Bethel. Bethel to Johnson in the corner. Bounce pass to Jentz. Double team over to Fullhart. Eli wants the 3. We're all tied up. That was a 7-point possession for the Otters, and Eli Fullhart is having a night, having a second half. It was a very nice pass from Jentz. We're all tied at 49. Stein to answer with a 3. That's no good. Drulard high for the rebound for the Otters. Gets it over to Micah Johnson as we approach the 6-minute mark to play. And here's Micah. Working towards his right, back to his left. Otters want their first lead of the game. It goes to Fullhart. Johnson back to Bethel. And Eston. Drulard, three-pointer. There's another one! And the Otters have their first lead of the game. Trenton Drulard knocks down a huge three. And it's 52-49 on our Park Region scoreboard. Unbelievable. 10 points in the last two possessions for the Otters. On the drive, Judge tipped away. There's Fullhart with a steal. Eli has it knocked away, and Abdi comes back with it. Fullhart's having a great game tonight. 14 turnovers for the Otters, 14 turnovers for the Tigers. And St. Cloud Tech. Eli got the steal and trying to push it in transition and get a layup, but it was knocked away on a good hustle play by the Tigers. And it breaks with it in the corner, spinning towards the baseline. Backs his way in against Johnson. A little turnaround is good, and there's Breaks doing a nice job taking advantage of his height advantage over Johnson. He's got all 6 of his points in the second half, and it's 52-51. Otters by 1, 4:50 to play in the game. Here is Gents to Bethel, goes through his hands and almost stolen by Abdi, but Eston gets it back in the corner. Drulard, he wants another one off the front of the rim, no good, and it is Abdi with a rebound for the Tigers. So the Tigers trying to regain the lead. And Abdi way up top with 4.5 minutes to play. Man-to-man defense for the Otters. Stein with it. Up top it goes to Judge. Near side Abdi. Fakes the pass, puts it on the floor. Working his way in, going to be a blocking foul on the Otters. And it'll be the 3rd foul on Trenton Drulard. And 4th team foul. Well, Otters not in foul trouble here yet. And Tech will inbound with Abdi. Stein comes out. I think it was James that came in. They lob it way up to James near midcourt, and Tech will set it up. Here's Nick Breaks with the basketball. Uses the ball screen, comes back to his left. Drulard knocks it away for a moment. Now he picks up his dribble. In trouble. Now he gets it to Kroska. Skips it across. 3-pointer. Abdi in the corner, and he hits it. Man, that possession looked like had turnover written all over it for the Tigers. But Kroska is able to find Abdi, and he's got 5, and Tech back up on top, 54-52. Here's Gents. Hands off to Drulard. Trenton, pick and roll, but his pass is behind Gents, and it's a turnover. Little pick and roll action. Kind of a tough angle on that pick and roll look. Otters' 15th turnover. So now the Otters got to regroup, got the lead, but the Tigers have bounced back. And St. Cloud Tech now up by 2 with the ball, 3:37 to play. Waleed Abdi has it. Swings it over to Judge. Shot fake on the drive. Dribbles under the hoop. Hands it off. Abdi wants another 3 from the same spot. No good. And Drulard, the weak side rebound for Fergus Falls. Up the floor. It's Bethel. Johnson. Micah for 3 in the lead. No good. Kroska with a position in the rebound for St. Cloud Tech. Good look for Micah. Couldn't get it to go. And here comes St. Cloud Tech into the front court. Over it goes. Now some contact there. There's going to be a foul on Eston Bethel. And that is going to be Eston's away from the ball. That's going to be his 4th. So that is a key foul situation. And Matt Johnson's going to take Eston out and bring Nolan Felstool in with 3:06 to play. And a box end out here for St. Cloud Tech. Lobs away out. It'll go into almost over and back. And Don Ferguson called timeout. They lobbed it all the way to midcourt. Judge caught it, and his shoe was, we had a good look at it, millimeters away from that midcourt line. And if he turned a little bit more, it would have been over and back, and probably a wise timeout called by Coach Ferguson to make sure there wasn't an over and back call on that one. 54-52 is the score. St. Cloud Tech by 2. Unbelievable turn of events with 6:41 to go. The Otters trailed by 7. They got fouled. There was a technical foul on the Tigers. They made 4 free throws. And then Fullhart hit a 3. They had a 7-point possession to tie the game. And then the next time down after a stop, Trenton Drulard hit a 3. to put the Otters up 3, but now the Tigers have got the last 5 as Fergus Falls offense has struggled the last few possessions. But Tech inbounds, and now the Otters come with a zone coming out of this timeout. There's a three-pointer. Abdi off the rim, no good. Battle for the board. Joulard's going to get called for the foul as Kroska had the inside rebounding position on the weak side. So now Trenton's got 4. So Bethel and Joulard each with 4. Eston is on the bench right now. Coming in is Welch. And coming out is Abdi. Eston on the bench right now. Imagine if there's a dead ball, the Otters are on offense. He'll come back in. Three-pointer is good off the inbounds. Well-run inbounds play, and Breaks, who didn't score in the first half, has heated up for 9 points in the second, and it's a 5-point Tech lead, 57-52. It's an 8-point run here now for the Tigers. We have 2:40 to go. Micah, left-hand drive, little turnaround jumper, tough shot in and out, no good, and Kroska with a rebound for St. Cloud Tech. Now Bethel gets up. He's going to come back in. There's a bounce pass. It goes to Breaks. He's going to shoot the guarded 3. No good. And Gents with a rebound. And Matt Johnson's going to use a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So we will keep it here. So the Tigers, after the Otters went on a furious charge, they've scored the last 8 to take the lead back by 5 at 57-52. Over in Pelican Rapids, the Vikings, real good game with the Breckenridge Cowboys. They lead 53-51, 8 minutes to go. It's Henning beating Underwood tonight, 75-57, an undefeated regular season for the number 1 rated Henning Hornets. At halftime, West Central area trails at Border West 25-23. Hillcrest boys win over Norman County East Ulen Hitterdall on the road, 77-61. Sartell beats Detroit Lakes in CLC action, 90-68. No new updates. Wilmer is up on St. Cloud Apollo, 30-25 at the half, and Perham is up big against Hawley at home, 76-50. 2:18 to play in the game. 57-52. St. Cloud Tech with the lead. The Tigers are on an 8-0 run, and the Otters inbound in the backcourt. It comes into Eston Bethel. See what Otters drew up here off that timeout. Here's Eston with it. Bounce pass comes to Micah Johnson into the post. Jacob Gents gathers. Jacob goes up. Weak side help. James with the block, and Kroska with the rebound. He's done a nice job. James has been a presence with his length, athleticism, and rim protection, and it came up big for the Tigers there. Inside of 2 minutes, here's Judge with it. Tigers by 5. Into the postage breaks, going against Bethel, who's got 4 fouls. Double team, they come to Judge. Over it goes. Here's James, three-pointer left side, and it's good. What a huge 3, and that was his first field goal of the game for Montevideo James. Bethel to the hoop, right to the basket, and Eston scores to make it a 6-point game, 60-54, 1:26 to play. All the way it goes in the corner to Welch. Back up to Breaks. Sure, the Tigers are happy to be patient here. And now Fellstuhl just comes up with a steal. Here's Nolan going up against Break. Contact, gets the basket. He draws the foul, and the Otters continue to battle. What a big play by Nolan Fellstuhl to come up with that steal, and he went right at the 6'4" Breaks with a size advantage, and he got the basket, and he's going to the free throw line to try to cut the lead to 3. Great game here tonight as Trenton Joulard is in. Fullhart comes out. 1:13 to go, and Nolan Fellstuhl, 5 points all in the second half. Free throw is off the heel, no good, and James able to get the rebound for St. Cloud Tech. 4-point Tiger lead with 1:05 to play. Judge left-hand dribble, over it goes Welsh. He's going to shoot the 3. It's in the air, and he buries it. Well, the Otters got what they wanted there, a quick shot, but Welch with confidence knocks it down. It's a 7-point game. Backdoor cut, Fellstuhl, left-hand layup, no good. Kroska battles for the board. It went off of Kroska and out of bounds, and it will go to the Otters with 48 seconds to play in the game. Wiedrich is in. Fellstuhl comes out, and Bethel will inbound. So Eston looking. There's Joulard slipping to the basket, and there he goes up. Contact, no call, and the Tigers get the rebound. with 39 seconds to go. There's a pass intercepted by Wiedrich. Now Wiedrich's pass is batted by Judge and out. And that was an effective play by Judge just to stop the Otters transition look that they were going to have. Felstuhl's in, Wiedrich comes out. Fullhart is in, and Joulard comes out with 34.5 seconds to play. Otters trail by 7. That's 63-56. Comes into Bethel. Otters got to move quickly. Here's Essen. Now he loses it. Now diving for the ball. He gets it to Jentz. Felstuhl straight on 3. No good. Tipped once, and it comes to Abdi for St. Cloud. He gets it up the floor to Welch. Lobs it up to Kroska. Jump stop. Goes up. Shot no good. Gets his own rebound. Kicks it back out. 14 seconds to go. And there's a foul. And it looks like that is going to be enough for St. Cloud Tech to come out with a hard-fought win here at the Otter Fieldhouse. As going to the free throw line will be Matthew Welch to shoot the 1-and-1. With 12.4 seconds to go, 63-56, St. Cloud Tech by 7. And Welch free throw is up and good. Welch with 6. He had a big 3 that was kind of put the hammer down on the Otters just a few moments ago. A minute to go is a 4-point lead, and he shot it early in the shot clock, and he buried it. And second one for Welch is rims out, no good. Offensive rebound and putback is no good by James. And Micah Johnson comes up with a ball. Now there's a foul in the backcourt with 6.5 seconds to go. Not what Coach Ferguson wanted, but 6.5 seconds to go. Fouling out will be Kyle Kroska. And Micah Johnson will shoot 2 as the Otters are in the double bonus. Well, this means the Otters will going to have to be road warriors in the Section 8-3A tournament. And now Makai Abramson on senior night is going to check in to get a little bit of action here as Eston Bethel will come out. 6.5 seconds to go. And Micah Johnson will shoot 2. Now a discussion here with the officials. So Micah, he's 2 for 2 at the line in this one. He sinks that one. He's got 5. Otters trail by 7 with 6.5 seconds to go, 64-57. And second one for Johnson is good. 64-58, full court pressure coming for the Otters. And there is a reach foul on Abramson, well away from the ball. And strategically, not a bad idea. Just take the foul and see if you can get a missed free throw here, as St. Cloud Tech is not in the double bonus. So at the line is Everett Stein. He'll shoot the 1-and-1. He's got 12 points in the game. And the free throw is good. So that will, if there is any doubt, kick it up to a 3-possession lead, 65-58. Stein with 13 points in the game. And second one is in the air, and it is good. Isaac Mock, senior, on senior night back in. Abramson back in. Cam Wiedrich is back in as Jentz, Felstuhl, and Fullhart will come out. But what a great comeback by the Otters tonight. They took the lead, but as you see so often, you expend so much energy coming back. Hard to finish it off as Bethel will launch a deep 3. No good, rebounded by James, and that will do it on our Park Region Service Beyond the Connection scoreboard. St. Cloud Tech with the win over Fergus Falls, 66-58 is the final score. And the Otters fall to 10-16, and that ends their regular season at 10-16, 8-10 in Central Lakes Conference play. And St. Cloud Tech improves to 500 at 13-13 and 9-9 in Central Lakes Conference play. And this all means that it's very highly, it's almost certain the Otters are now going to be on the road next week, next Wednesday, when they start the Section 8-3A playoffs. So we're going to take a break. We're going to add up the stats and see what we got here for some of the numbers. Recap the game, an exciting game tonight, a game that the Otters struggled early and really came at it in the second half, come up a little short. They fall to the St. Cloud Tech Tigers 66-58 the final. Back with our post-game show after this.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
And we're back here, adding up some stats on our post-game show. And really a fun second half tonight, as Otters really struggled mightily in the first half to get anything going on the offensive end. The second half was a different story, as Otters fall tonight 66-58 to the Tigers from St. Cloud Tech. And the game started out with Tech scoring the first few baskets, and Otters didn't score. It was at least 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes till they got their first basket of the game. And they were down 15-2 just like that. So just the opposite of their game on February 2nd in St. Cloud. Otters jumped out to a big lead. Tech jumped out to a double-digit lead right off the bat. Everything was difficult for the Otters offensively. You could tell they were a little bit unsure of themselves with the pressure that was being put on them with the length. The Tigers go 6'4", 6'4", 6'6", 6'7", with size everywhere along with that length and athleticism, and couldn't get in a rhythm. And the Otters only had 7 first-half field goals and found themselves down 31-20 at the half. Well, in the second half, St. Cloud Tech kicked up their lead to 16. In fact, it was 39-23. But Fergus Falls didn't give up, kept battling back, and pretty soon they found themselves within 7, and that's where what was almost a total difference maker in the game. The biggest moment in the game anyway, with 6:41 to play, Otters trailing by 7, and they were down 49-42, and the ball went into Eston Bethel, and Kylie Gilo came from behind, and it was a double team, and Eston might have been in a little bit of trouble, where it was going to be tough for him to do anything and in danger of maybe getting it knocked away. But Gilu came from behind and just hammered Eston from behind, and it was a clear foul, and then obviously said something after that. got a technical foul, fouled out of the game, and the Otters got 4 free throws and the ball. Well, Eston stepped up. He made all 4 free throws in a row, and when the Otters got the ball, Jacob Gents drove and skipped it across to Eli Fullhart, who buried a 3, and just like that, it was a 7-point possession that tied the game up. The Otters got the stop on the next possession, came down, and Drulard hits a 3, and in 2 possessions, the Otters had 10 points and had their first lead of the game. And that's when the offense struggled again for the Otters. St. Cloud Tech started to shoot the ball down the stretch. They went on an 8-0 run to take a 57-49 lead. And just when Fergus Falls looked like they were in some trouble, Nolan Fellstool got a big steal, drove to the basket, got an and one to cut it to 4 with a little over a minute left, but couldn't convert the free throw. And then Matthew Welch hit what kind of put the Otters away, a 3 in the corner with about a minute to go. That put the lead back up to 7, and Tech did enough to hold off Fergus Falls. 66-58 is the final score. I got a few more to add up, so we're going to take one short break, and we'll come back. We'll add up the stats and numbers. We're going to name our quality player of the game as well, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Otters fall to St. Cloud Tech. Back with more after this.
A fresh shipment of brand new Buick Enclaves and Buick Envisions has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. If you've been waiting for the perfect SUV, now's your moment. The spacious, refined Buick Enclave with 3 rows of comfort and confidence. Or the sleek, stylish Buick Envision that is smart, smooth, and ready for where life takes you. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Welcome back here on our post-game show. St. Cloud Tech over Fergus Falls Otter boys, 66-58. Let's take a look at the stats here in this one for St. Cloud Tech. They were led by Judge, 6'4" junior. He had 19 points to lead the Tigers. He just had a whale of a first half, 17 of his 19 in the first half. He is tough. He was maybe a little bit out of his rhythm in the second half, but he was the main cog for the Tigers, 17 of their 31 first half points. He had 19. It was 14 points for Everett Stein, who had a couple of threes, early threes in the game to get the Tigers going. 9 points for Nick Breaks, all in the second half. 8 for Kyle Kroska. 6 for Matthew Welch, 5 for Molid Abdi, 3 for Manabenda James, and 2 for Kaltik Diang. And the Tigers were led on the boards by Kroska, who had 8, 6 rebounds for Stein, and 5 rebounds for Judge. Judge led the Tigers in assists with 4. And looked like it was 3 assists for James. James was a big factor for St. Cloud Tech defensively. A lot of shot blocking. I don't know. He had to have 4 or 5 blocks in the game, and he was part of the reason that the Tech defense was so strong tonight. Over for the Otters, it was Eston Bethel leading the way. Eston with 20 points in the game, and he had that stretch where he made those 4 free throws in a row. In that 7-point possession for the Otters. Eston had 10 points in each half. No other Otters in double figures. They had Eli Fullhart with 8. Eli just had best game I've seen him play in the games that I've called for the Otters. Just giving Otters a huge boost on both ends of the floor. It was Jacob Gents with 8, 6 apiece for Micah Johnson and Cam Wiedrick, and 5 points apiece for Nolan Fellstool and Trenton Juilliard. And on the boards, I had Fullhart with 6, and Gents with 6, and Nolan Fellstool with 5. Eston Bethel leading the Otters with 5 assists. It was a pair of assists for Micah Johnson and Jacob Gents. Team stats, St. Cloud Tech slight edge on the boards, 31-30. It was 16 turnovers for the Tigers, 15 for the Otters, so those stats almost identical. And the Otters, I didn't quite get to my field goals, although thanks to Dean Nielsen, it was 49% field goal shooting for Tech, and the Otters ended up at 32% from the field. Otters how many threes did Fergus Falls end up with? 6 threes in the game, as Bethel and Full Heart each had 2. Fellstool and Drouillard each had 1. And the Tigers ended up, they had 9 threes in the game. 3 from Judge and 2 from Stein, 1 each from Breaks, Abdi, James, and Welch. As there were 2 lead changes and 1 tie in the game. And it was a dramatic lead change when the Otters took the lead on that 10 points in 2 possessions, but couldn't hold off the Tigers. As a lot of energy expended to get the lead, couldn't hold them off, couldn't quite get the offense they needed at the end, and the Tigers win it 66-58. Well, let's name our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. And Lake Country Graphics is your apparel source for personalized printed or embroidered clothing and accessories. Go to yourapparelsource.com/Lake Country Graphics. That's Lake Country Graphics in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027. That's 998-4027. Well, we're going to go off the beaten path here, and our quality player, I was so impressed with his play tonight, 6'4" sophomore Eli Fullhart. And he's someone who's been coming off the bench with sometimes he'll get a lot of minutes, and other games maybe not as much, but Eli was a huge boost for the Otters, especially in the second half. But he was very noticeable on the defensive end in the first half and on the boards in the first half as well. And Eli had 8 points. I had him leading the Otters with 6 rebounds, and defensively he was outstanding. And he was one of the guys getting all the tips and moving the ball around, or getting the tips and getting the Otters out in transition during that comeback. And coming off the bench, a huge game for Eli. That's going to give him additional confidence going into next week's playoffs. Eli Fullhart, he's going to be our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. So with that, as we mentioned before, the Otters are going to be on the road next week. They came into this game fractionally behind St. Cloud Tech. Had they won, they would have almost assuredly leapfrogged St. Cloud Tech with a tiebreaker. But now the teams split. St. Cloud Tech has the higher conference record, and Tech would have the advantage there. And it's very likely that Detroit Lakes, right behind the Otters, they beat the Otters twice, will leapfrog the Otters for the 5th spot. And and I don't want to put anything in stone here, but I think it looks like the Otters might be headed for the 6th seed, and it's very possible they could be playing at Wilmer in the first round of the playoffs next week. But games to be figured out and QRF to be sorted. No one can get a full grasp on the QRF rankings. So we'll just have to see how it all comes out when they do the seedings here this weekend. But the Otters probably going to be on the road next Wednesday in the first round of the Section 8-3A playoffs. Let's take a look at the local scoreboard here, as it's regular season finale day for most boys teams in the area. And looking at the some Class A action, it was Pelican Rapids. Well, they trailed at half against Breckenridge at home. They snuck it out 66-63 at home over Breckenridge. Ashby fell at Belgrade Bruton El Rosa 81-50. Henning completes incredible season, undefeated regular season with a 75-57 win at home over Underwood. West Central leading by 10 over Border West 56-46 with a minute to play. Hillcrest over Norman County East. Ulen Hitterdal on the road 77-61. And moving over, Barnesville falls at East Grand Forks 73-69. Perham wins at home over Hawley 82-55. And then in Central Lakes Conference play, Sartell wins at home over Detroit Lakes 90-68. No more updates from St. Cloud Apollo. Wilmer was ahead of St. Cloud Apollo on the road 30-25 at the half. All right, with that, we're going to wrap things up here. And senior night, Otters wanted to get a win, couldn't quite do it. Good to see a lot of the pictures being taken here out in the post game here. And Otter seniors, a lot to be proud of. I know they wanted to play one more at home, but probably not meant to be. But they'll try to keep the season going and have a great playoff run. As we mentioned before, every team in this section, the Otters have been very competitive with, and just they're going to have to be road warriors now, most likely in the playoffs. But we look forward to covering the Otter boys as we'll have coverage of their game wherever it is next Wednesday in the opening round of the Section 8 3A playoffs. So with that, this is our final live stream of the basketball season, and it was a lot of fun. Thanks. Derek is here by my side, and Derek City and Dave Bishop just did great job and pleasure to work with, and all the improvements that have been made to it, and I know even more improvements are going to keep being made, and look forward to making it bigger and better next year. So great job, Derek and Dave, everything that they've done. I want to thank Craig Olson as well for everything he does with the scheduling and being our sports director and the legend he is. We're so thankful for Craig as well as we have our final live stream of the season. Everything else, all of our playoff action in boys and girls basketball will be with radio-only broadcast. Before I do sign off, that reminds me, don't forget, Otter girls are at home, and big playoff game against Wilmer. The number 2 seed, Fergus Falls, at home against the number 3 seed. That's a 5:45 pregame, 6 o'clock tip-off, and that'll be right here on News Talk 1250 KBRF. The Otters beat Wilmer twice, but they were good, close battles both times. Should be a great game as the Otters compete in the Section 8 3A semifinals. Also, we'll have Hancock at Hillcrest in Section 6A girls basketball. That's a 6:45, 7 p.m. start on Channel 977. And then West Central at Rossay in 6A as well. 6:45, 7 p.m. tip-off, KJ 96.5. And again, just a reminder, the Otter girls are at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, a little earlier than the normal 7 o'clock start. It's a 6 p.m. tip-off in Fergus Falls. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in as we sign off here from the Otter Field House and Roosevelt Gym as the Otters fall on our Park Region Service Beyond the Connection scoreboard to St. Cloud Tech, 66-58. Thanks again to Derek City, and great job again on the live stream production. And this is Jason Retzloff signing off from the Otter Fieldhouse. We thank you for listening and watching the Otter Boys basketball on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Nelson starting lineups. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. The Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated. Fergus Falls Monument. Otter Tail Coaches. American Federal Bank of Fergus Falls. Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's. FM Bank. Service Food. Splash Express. American Legion Post number 30. Lake Country Graphics. LB Homes. And by Running Stitches. Thank you for joining us for a special video sports streaming presentation. You can find this game and others by going to KBRFradio.com and click